Sembra che sappiate.
It seems that you know that today I'm turning 70.
Rendo grazie al Signore.
I thank the Lord, my parents, and all those who remembered me in prayer.
Ricordo nella preghiera.
I'm a literature professor and I'm here for the Pope's birthday. I'm really excited to be here in the Vatican today to celebrate him and also just to be here in the Jubileo, right, in Spanish.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch, pinch.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea?
We're in Ohio.
So is that close or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Friday, with the Dow dropping about 0.6%, the S&P 500 closing essentially flat, and the Nasdaq gaining more than 0.4% to record another record closing high. Investors are laser focused on the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting next week, which concludes on Wednesday. Traders expect the central bank to cut interest rates by 25 basis points after recent data showed long-standing weakness in hiring and easing inflation concerns. The anticipated rate cut is just one catalyst that has driven Wall Street's main indexes to multiple recent record highs, says Anna Rathbun, founder and CEO of Granadilla Advisory.
This week we had an IPO of a name that a lot of people know, Klarna, and that has definitely caused a lot of excitement. There was news about Oracle and OpenAI and AI demand. All of this has generated or rejuvenated this excitement around AI. So tech continues to go up and drive the entire markets. The rest of the markets seem to be on standby as to what may happen next week with the Fed. And I think they're a lot more sensitive to what will happen to rates for the rest of the year.
Friday's notable stock moves included Microsoft, which rose nearly 2% after the technology giant avoided a possible hefty EU antitrust fine by offering customers reduced prices for office products, excluding Teams. Shares of Tesla jumped nearly 7.5% after its board chair dismissed concerns that CEO Elon Musk's political activity had hurt sales at the EV maker and said the billionaire was, quote, front and center at the company after several months as part of the Trump administration. With Friday's surge, Tesla shares remained down 2% in 2025. And shares of Warner Brothers Discovery jumped 17%, extending a surge from Wednesday when a source said that Paramount Skydance was preparing a bid for the struggling media company.
Consumer sentiment falls to its lowest level since May. Here to discuss it is Anna Rothbrunn of Granadilla Advisory. Anna, consumer sentiment in the University of Michigan survey fell for a second straight month, but it's been the consumer who's propped up this economy with consistent spending. Do you see a shift on the horizon in consumer behavior?
You know, in some ways, it's not that surprising to see consumer sentiment fall because there are a lot of uncertainties still around us. But, you know, consumer sentiment has been low if we take a few steps back for a few years. If you go back decades, the average consumer sentiment is around 82. So, and we've been below that for a long time, and yet the consumers have still prepped up the economy. So I don't really see this particular reading as something that's indicative of, taking away the resilience of consumers. And plus, remember, there are these tax cuts, tax cuts that were extended and also additionally. And come next spring, there's going to be tax refunds that will also prop up the economy. So I think there are positives to the consumer wallets that will be coming in the future that will help us.
And this is despite the fact that we saw in yesterday's consumer price index reading that inflation is drifting away and not towards the Fed's 2% annual target goal.
Yeah, but there were some things that were definitely much higher in terms of price increases, but there were also things that went down. And in the aggregate, it was higher. But I think the Fed is taking a look at PPI more closely, I would, than usual, because PPI is sort of a leading indicator of what prices might do. And the day before, it actually fell. And more importantly, the services portion, which is what the Fed is worried about, also was very, very mild. So I think going into the meeting next week for the Fed, there is a huge likelihood that they will actually end up cutting, especially with a very slow and weakening labor market.
Most traders expect that the Fed will cut by 25 basis points. Some think that it may cut by 50 basis points. You say it won't. You're sticking with 25. Why?
You know, I think it's easier to pass a 25 basis point cut, easier to get a consensus. It's harder to get a 50 basis point consensus, especially if you take a look at all of the different commentaries that have come leading up to now. And also, 25 basis points have been sort of your given accepted increment. But if they go 50, there is a possibility that the markets will wonder, is there something else that's wrong that the Fed is seeing that the markets are not seeing? And it can induce a little bit of a panic.
The Trump administration is eager to have Stephen Myron confirmed as Fed governor before the meeting next week. What impact do you see this having, if any, on Fed independence?
Yeah, there's been a lot of noise around Fed independence for a while now. It's sort of unfortunate that this is happening with the confirmation as the data are pointing toward a 25 basis point cut. So it's difficult to tell, is there influence versus is it really just the data? And I think that is going to put a lot of question mark on investors. I still believe the Fed will be independent. It is one person that is coming in from the Trump administration. The rest of the Fed officials have been around for a while, and we have trusted them until now. So I don't think one person will make a huge difference in swinging the independence of the Fed one way or another.
Stocks continue to make more record highs. Would you consider what we're in a sort of momentum melt up, or is this truly based on fundamentals?
It feels like a melt up. Every day it goes up a little bit, and we continue to hit record highs in the S&P 500. Now, some of this is optimism. Some of it is, anticipation of a rate cut and potentially more for the rest of 2025. Some of it is fundamental. So even with the tariffs and all these challenges, the S&P 500 companies still manage to, perform, I guess, mid-teens, almost mid-teens year-over-year earnings growth. That's pretty impressive considering the challenges that have been around us. So I think there are some fundamentals. Now, this isn't to say that the stock market is cheap. The valuations are high. The concentration in the S&P 500 is very, very high. There is a possibility that if there is a bad news somewhere, that there may be jitters that actually spread through the markets and induce a sell-off. The higher the market goes, the more fragile it becomes to those types of bad news.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for Northwest Pennsylvania. Got another beautiful day in store for us today. Lots of sunshine and warm temperatures. Got a high in the low 80s here today. And, it's going to be a pretty nice week in terms of temperatures. Tonight, we're looking at some passing clouds and a low of 55. Tuesday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Wednesday, partly cloudy, upper 70s. Thursday, sunshine, low 80s. Friday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Even Saturday, mostly sunny and a high of 80. So, warm temperatures pretty much sticking through the next week and into the beginning part of next week. Looks like maybe a week from Wednesday, we might see temperatures fall to the low 70s and cool down just a little bit. So, enjoy the warm weather while it's here. That is a look at your weather forecast. It's 7:17. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Woke up to the sun like a golden alarm. Pillow creased my cheeks, still warm in its charm. Stumbled to the couch, remote in my hand. The morning drill's on, it's the perfect plan. Luke and Amy, they're my daily dose. Coffee brews, but they're the real toast. Wake me up.
Look at that sunrise this morning. What a beautiful start to this Monday. Good morning, a brand new week as we're in the middle part of September now. And it didn't hit me till Saturday, I think, when we were driving all over the place to watch soccer. We were south, everywhere. We were north, we were everywhere. And that's when it hit me. Just seeing the trees, the leaves are changing and falling, and it's
It's
too
a beautiful
fast.
time of year.
It is, and it's going to be over like that.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's gorgeous, though.
It is.
Really, I hope you had a chance over the weekend to catch some of it, because just absolutely stunning. And it's just the start, right?
Right.
So
The temperature does not feel like it's.
yeah. So we were at a soccer match Saturday morning, about an hour plus south from here, and really warm early, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're standing out on the field because they couldn't play at their normal stadium, so they're playing on grass. And I kept looking. I don't know about you, but I kept looking down. And I'm like, boy, I didn't realize how
It's very
brown and dry the ground is.
We haven't, not complaining entirely. We mowed a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And we haven't since because it's so dry and it's not growing. So, bummer.
Okay.
It's Monday.
It is. Emmys last night. I could maybe run down some of those winners a little bit later.
I don't even know.
I don't. I do know this, and I'll ask you this before I bring this up.
Oh, no.
Is there a show that you wouldn't necessarily admit to liking or watching?
I don't even know what's on anymore.
I'm talking about anything from the past. If you'd be too embarrassed to maybe say, yeah, I like that show.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't.
Okay. I wouldn't go around saying I love watching Golden Girls, but Golden Girls is I
have no problem
really
saying
funny.
I liked watching it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 40 years ago it debuted. So that was the big thing over the weekend.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You have Golden Girls Funko Pops?
No, Pez dispensers.
Pez dispensers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing
do.
that.
Well, I'm a Pez collector, so clarify that. I just didn't go out and buy Golden Girl Pez dispensers.
Yeah. Anything anytime I see anything unique, he collects.
I collect Pez dispensers. Yes.
He has a couple.
Just a couple.
Room's full. But yeah, anytime. So I saw that a couple years ago online.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So 40 years of the Golden Girls.
That's cool.
In our neck of the woods, we got done with week 4 of high school football, about halfway through the season, which is crazy. It's like we just started. Feels like we're just kind of getting into our groove, and it's going to be over. So
I will say this, because you've been doing it for quite some time, and the first few years, it was like, hey, can you press this button? I forgot to do this. Hey, can you bring this down to the field? Hey, what time are you leaving work? Do you think you could make it here before this time? Because I forgot this. The first few years, but now it's seamless. You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you.
Well, we joked about that Friday, actually.
I delivered a cameraman.
Well, you did, but our play-by-play guy, Jim, was saying, who was he talking to? Because, the days of Amy having to run back to the studio and fetch stuff for us because, we needed that, or we need that.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm like, okay, I have no idea what you're talking. I don't know what a splitter is. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, FaceTime. There was one thing I didn't have with me Friday that was more of a luxury item that I wanted to use and forgot. But our good friends over at Cool, Chuck Stop, helped me out. So, and Joe Vilke. But big thanks to Chuck. I just needed a little adapter.
Saved the day.
Little adapter, and actually it's a small thing for a big thing. So, big thanks to Chuck. But that's what it's about. Everybody knows, your hometown announcers. That's what people want.
Yeah.
So I think there's respect in that regard. We know that your team wants to hear from their people, the people they're used to hearing from.
Yeah.
So I think when we go to away, we know it's important that those hometown announcers are there. Or
I don't think
when somebody's asking us to come here to announce their hometown,
I don't think anybody has said anything negative, but you can tell, when the announcers are from, like, you're talking about a kid and their parents and they're, on a first name basis. And, it's just a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
Versus
Well,
somebody
they're also
who's
just used to them.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, real quick, before we get to birthdays and what we're celebrating, I saw this because we've had these conversations before about how to exit a party or not. If you're hosting a get-together, how do you end it? What's the nice thing to do to let people know it's time to go? Because some people don't catch on to that, right? So there's an expert party planner that is sharing some tips. And one is more direct, and it's just saying this. Hey, folks, I'm tired. Thanks for being here. I got to get to bed. Can't wait to do this again. That's one way to exit the whole thing and get people out of your house. There's a few other script ideas. When you're ready for the party to be over, nicely tell everyone to leave. This has been so much fun. It's approaching my bedtime. All right. So that's one way. There's another way. Step one, they say, wait until there's a pause in the conversation. Maybe after everybody has a good laugh about something. Lean forward, clap your hands in a gentle cupping fashion, and proclaim, well, this has been really fun. Thank you so much for coming. We really should do this again soon. And that's an indicator like it's time to go. Step two, if there's young children at home, get your kids in their PJs, parade them around the living room to say goodnight to everybody, then tell them to head to bed, and you'll be there in a minute to tuck them in. There'll be someone in the group who will sympathize with this scene and say, oh, we should let you get to your kids and get them to bed. We'll let you go. So that might be one way of doing it. And then a third way, they say, if nothing else is working, this final tactic is foolproof. Get up from the table and clear just a few plates. Ask your guests to do the same, so be sure to leave a few plates on the table for them to clear. This part is key. Otherwise, guests will continue their conversations if you don't ask them to take part in cleaning up. Now, I will say we've hosted parties where we have done almost all of this.
All of the above.
And it doesn't help, which, again, I think probably indicates everybody's having a good time. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, funny stuff there. So maybe try those things, see if they work. If not.
Or if you are not hosting a party and you're hearing that, you're like, oh, maybe I should take those cues.
Yeah, pick up a few of those cues and say, you know what, why don't we let you go? Or do you need help cleaning up anything?
Because a lot of times, I mean, the party planners have worked all day to execute that. And
yeah,
they're incredibly exhausted.
That's right. All right, let's get to birthdays and what we're celebrating. Today's the 15th day of September.
Holy cow. Actor Tommy Lee Jones is 79. It's crazy.
He actually looks older than that.
He does. I thought he was like 79 a long time ago, but wow. Director Oliver Stone is 79. Actor Josh Charles is 54. Actor Tom Hardy is 48. Britain's Prince Harry is 41. Actress Heidi Montag is 39. And that is all.
All right. Happy birthday to all of them. And happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here today. Let's turn the page and find out what it is we're celebrating here on this September 15th.
It is Butterscotch Cinnamon Pie Day.
Ugh.
Dot Day.
Dot?
Dot.
Just
dot.
Period. End of conversation.
Yep.
Okay.
Family and Community Day. Felt Hat Day.
Oh, I'm waiting to wear my fedoras.
Almost there.
I could wear them in this heat, but
I wore what was
like
it?
a straw or a
like a Panama hat.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Yeah, it was really nice. You looked nice in that.
Thanks. Felt Hat Day, International Day of Democracy, Make a Hat Day, National Africa Civility Day, National Cheese Toast Day, National Creme, I'm not even going to say it. Sorry, National Creme de Menthe Day. Didn't start it right, so it wasn't coming out at all. National Custom Framing Day, National Dare Day, National Double Cheeseburger Day, National Google.com Day. I can't talk. National Linguini Day, National Online Learning Day, National Tackle Kids Cancer Day, Respect for the Aged Day, Shout to Dolores, World Afro Day, World Engineers Day, Adopt a Less Adoptable Pet Week, Malnutrition Awareness Week, National Jeans for Jeans Week, Recycle Awareness Week, Rehab Week, Hispanic Heritage Month, and that's about it.
The only thing I can think of is Jerry Seinfeld at the end of that one episode yelling, "Oh, Dolores." So
yeah.
Happy Dolores Day. I don't know if I know any Doloreses. Do you?
I don't think I do.
I don't know. Okay. We'll find something there to celebrate and enjoy. We have a busy morning ahead. Charlie Castelluccio is going to join us. Also,
Awesome.
Later this morning, our friends from Titusville
So we're
City
celebrating
Hall.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday on the weather up there?
Oh, I got to fix that. I'm sorry.
It's
Boy,
all
that's lousy of me. See, it's a Monday, you know?
I'm just, hoping it gets
we'll get
colder.
that. We'll fix that. Sorry about that. My bad. My bad.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, it is a Monday, isn't
Yay.
it? Woo!
Life feels brighter with the morning drill. Through sleepy eyes, they shine.
Sembra che sappiate
It seems that you know that today I'm turning 70.
Rendo grazie al Signore
I thank the Lord, my parents, and all those who remembered me in prayer.
ricordo nella preghiera.
I'm a literature professor and I'm here for the Pope's birthday. I'm really excited to be here in the Vatican today to celebrate him and also just to be here in the Jubileo, right, in Spanish.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Discover unforgettable savings of over $8,000 off your next Chevy truck at Community Chevrolet's September to Remember sales event.
It's like the saying goes, a golden retriever never forgets.
I'm not sure you have that right, Clark. You might want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. What's truly memorable is Community's savings this month of more than $8,000 off a 2025 Silverado and nearly $5,000 off top SUVs like the Tahoe. So don't forget about the September to Remember sales event this month only at Community Chevrolet.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place, and now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
I needed a place I could feel cared for without the long drive. I chose Meadville OBGYN because both my sisters came here, highly recommended Dr. Kristen. Dr. Kristen makes me feel very comfortable, like I'm family, like we're friends, very personable. My daughter Evie was born breech, and it was Dr. Kristen and Dr. Barco, and they were incredible. It was a wonderful experience. I wouldn't ever want to go anywhere else.
Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
I'm Ben Leach, Republican nominee for Magisterial District Judge, reminding you to get out and vote Tuesday, November 4th. As the only candidate with over 13 years of real courtroom experience and a dedicated career in the justice system, I've consistently demonstrated the ability to remain fair and impartial. As I continue my lifelong dedication to serving our community, I strive to be the kind of leader our citizens deserve. On November 4th, vote with confidence for a candidate who is qualified day one, bringing the experience needed to serve as your next Magisterial District Judge.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Friday, with the Dow dropping about 0.6%, the S&P 500 closing essentially flat, and the Nasdaq gaining more than 0.4% to record another record closing high. Investors are laser focused on the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting next week, which concludes on Wednesday. Traders expect the central bank to cut interest rates by 25 basis points after recent data showed long-standing weakness in hiring and easing inflation concerns. The anticipated rate cut is just one catalyst that has driven Wall Street's main indexes to multiple recent record highs, says Anna Rathbun, founder and CEO of Granadilla Advisory.
This week we had an IPO of a name that a lot of people know, Klarna, and that has definitely caused a lot of excitement. There was news about Oracle and OpenAI and AI demand. All of this has generated or rejuvenated this excitement around AI. So tech continues to go up and drive the entire markets. The rest of the markets seem to be on standby as to what may happen next week with the Fed. And I think they're a lot more sensitive to what will happen to rates for the rest of the year.
Friday's notable stock moves included Microsoft, which rose nearly 2% after the technology giant avoided a possible hefty EU antitrust fine by offering customers reduced prices for office products, excluding Teams. Shares of Tesla jumped nearly 7.5% after its board chair dismissed concerns that CEO Elon Musk's political activity had hurt sales at the EV maker and said the billionaire was, quote, front and center at the company after several months as part of the Trump administration. With Friday's surge, Tesla shares remained down 2% in 2025. And shares of Warner Brothers Discovery jumped 17%, extending a surge from Wednesday when a source said that Paramount Skydance was preparing a bid for the struggling media company.
Well, the great weather continues. Lots of sunshine expected today with temperatures in the low 80s. Some passing clouds tonight with lows in the mid-50s. Tuesday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Wednesday, partly cloudy, upper 70s. Thursday, sunshine, low 80s. Friday, mostly sunny with highs in the low 80s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 7:41. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joining us this morning is Mr. Charlie Castelluccio. Charlie, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Luke. It's a beautiful day here in northwestern Pennsylvania.
It is. Every day is a beautiful day,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You do a lot of work with our local veterans. Give us a quick recap of just some of the things you do before we get into why you're here today.
Well, I'm the VFW National Rep to the Erie VA. That means if any veterans have any problems with the VA or any of the C boxes, they get hold of me and I can talk to the right people to find out exactly what's going on or what's causing the problem. I'm also in charge of the Honor Guard here in Titusville. We do funerals, Titusville, Centerville, all Titusville veterans that pass away. We do their services. It's free of charge. We do through the local funeral homes. There are a lot of times some family members just want to have something on their own, and we, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, we're out there. I'm also in charge of the DAV drivers here in Titusville. We get our run sheets from Meadville, and I used to have 4 drivers. I had one volunteer that volunteered for 13 years. He retired. He's 84 years of age, and he says, Charlie, I just can't do it anymore.
Oh.
So something there that's needed.
And by the way, that's hard for them to say that because they know there's a need and they really enjoy doing that and helping their fellow veterans.
Yeah, I've been driving. It's almost 14 years for me now. I have over 2,500 hours. I probably got 40,000 miles driving. I think, well, this is an old pin in my hat. I think it says 35,000 miles. And it's something I enjoy. Matter of fact, today, I'm driving today. I'm going to pick up a local veteran. I'm going to take him to his appointment over in Seneca, get some blood work done. I'll take him back, and We'll yak and talk along the way how we're doing and everything. Talk about a little bit football. Not much about the Steelers this morning, you know. That's a bad subject here right now for us diehard Steeler fans. But we talk and yak, and my payment is when he goes to get out of the van, thank you, Charlie. Thank you for the ride. It wasn't for you, I wouldn't get it to my appointments. And that's all over the United States. There's DAV drivers from every VA facility. There's different C boxes. We have a C box. C box stands for Community-Based Outpatient Clinic. Boy, did I pull that one off.
You did it well.
And there's one down in Seneca. There's one over in Meadville. There's one in Warren. There's one over in Ohio. And what these veterans do, they call into different places, usually 7 to 10 days ahead of time. And for our local veterans here, if you dial the Erie VA, you'll get a recording number, and you punch in 6603, and it'll come up DAV Meadville. And if someone's there, usually they're from 8 to 11. And if not, leave a message, your time, your home phone number, your appointment date, your location, and they print the sheets out. And I usually get them in Titusville, usually on Friday, so I know a week ahead of time. And so between me and the other drivers, and the VA's in dire need of drivers. Like I said, all over. I mean, I know this is going to a lot of different places. Get hold of your local VA medical center. Talk to somebody, hey, I'd like to be a DAV driver. There are some qualifications. You got to have a good driving record. You have to pass a background check. You get a physical, which is free of no charge. They want to make sure you're able to drive and you have good eyesight and hearing. And you must have vehicle insurance. Now, the only reason for the vehicle insurance is, now, as long as you're driving the van on a VA authorized run like I'll be doing today, I go down and I come back, I'm covered under their insurance. But they've had a few instances where drivers would take a couple veterans to the Erie VA and they'd be like 2 or 3 hours in between. So they decide to run down to Walmart and maybe get something that's on sale. And while they're there, they come out and there's a fender bender. That's on your own insurance. But normally, almost all the time, you're covered under the VA and you are driving a government vehicle. That's why they do a background check. We got a real nice Ford Expedition. It's all-wheel drive for our veterans. And we pick veterans sometimes up 5 o'clock in the morning that are locally. If they're going to Pittsburgh, we have to have them over at Perkins by 6:45. And sometimes in the wintertime, we beat PennDOT out there. So we have a real good vehicle and our veterans. So when we take them to Meadville for the going to Pittsburgh, they'll give us a call and they'll say, hey, Charlie, I'm leaving Pittsburgh now. I'll meet you at Meadville in about an hour and a half. And it's something I enjoy, and it's something, like I said, I've been doing for 13 years.
What are, and before we get to some information that you want to present that's coming up, what are some other things that the communities can do to help our local veterans? Obviously, volunteering for this is something that's needed and very important to do. But are there other things? If somebody says, well, I still work or I don't have that time, but I still want to help out, what can somebody do?
Well, first, I want to get back to the DAV driving part. Our contact at the Erie VA is Karen O'Neill, and her number is 814-860-2454. And anybody in this area of Crawford, Mercer, Venango County, the Erie VA also goes up to part of New York and Ohio for veterans up there. As far as what you can do, we are in dire need of volunteers for our honor guard. I thank the good Lord I'll be 76 this coming fall. I've been doing the honor guard for 25 years now, and it's something that's very much appreciated. It's very moving. If you've ever been to a full military funeral, the firing squad in the taps and presenting the American flag, I've probably presented 1,800 flags for my last 25 years as being part of the honor guard. And we are called the Titusville Honor Guard. We are members of the American Legion and the Titusville VFW. And like I said, you can become a member of the honor guard Anyone can be a member of the Honor Guard, and we have some females. The only rule that there's a must, you must be a veteran to fire. So to fire the rifles, you must be a veteran. But you can play the taps, you can be a guard, you can hold one of the flags. There's nothing more impressive, like we're at our local funeral home up here in Garrett's, and there's 13 people standing outside in uniform with the American flag, the POW and the post flag flying in the wind. It's impressive. And people come out with tears in their eyes telling us, thank you for this. And we always tell them it's an honor for us to do. And that's for all VFWs, American Legion. They're all shorthanded because we're all getting up in age, and it's harder to get the younger people, because I know a lot of them work different shifts. But once you get involved, you start helping out. Man, I tell you, it's awesome.
That's great. We've had Cami Maza on from Erie VA, and she's been down talking about the medical foster home program. There's some really great things that are out there or that they're trying to establish for our veterans. And again, if that's something that somebody might be interested in, they could look into that, where they would actually host a veteran, in their home, and they would live there. So,
yes.
Again, there's a lot of great opportunities to get involved, or and the other thing you could do is probably go to your local VFW or American Legion and say, hey, what do you need? What can we help with?
Yes. Something else that's going on, it's one of the really best kept secrets. It's the Mellon Outreach Center up in Northeast Pennsylvania. The Mellon family bought the old college up there. It's turned over for veterans. There's a lot of things going on up there. Excuse me, more and more. And if you just Google Veterans Outreach Center, the Mellon Center, Northeast Pennsylvania, it'll pop up everything that's going on. And what else is going on here locally, this coming Wednesday here at the American Legion in Titusville, we are having a salute to our World War II veterans. A lot of people seem to forget about these special veterans, the greatest generation. Last week on September 2nd was the 80th anniversary of World War II coming to an end. In my household, I had 5 uncles all served.
Wow.
And by the grace of God, all of them made it back. Some were Purple Heart recipients. 2 uncles landed at Normandy. I got some awesome family members, and would also encourage me to volunteer for the service. And also, that's going to be 4 o'clock on this coming Wednesday at the American Legion. We're going to honor our World War II veterans. Chris Feely, a local fellow from Titusville, he's going to read all the names from Titusville that have passed away. Then right after that, we are going to have our POW MIA representative, Phil Davis. He's the commander post Vietnam Veterans Post 52 in Meadville. He's going to be our guest speaker, and he's going to talk about what's going on at the recovery and still sightings of American soldiers that are in North Vietnam. A lot of people say, no, they're not there, but he has some facts and figures and prove that we do have soldiers still there in North Vietnam. And after that, we're going to have a meal free of charge. It's smoke-free, open to veterans and their family members. Come on down, we'll have a good time, and it's something we're going to have a great time doing.
You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Charlie Castelluccio with us here this morning. When it comes to local people that are still here, how many do we have that served in World War II? I know that number has dwindled quite a bit over the years.
Yeah.
Is there anybody left?
I have checked with 10 or 15 people in Titusville that are in the know, that know a lot of people. Myself, I used to know 4 or 5 years ago, I could name you 6 off, but they've all passed away. Because I want to give you this number. So September 2nd was 80 years. So if you went in at 15 years of age, today you'd be 95. The youngest person to go in was a young boy from Texas. He went in at 13 years of age. Imagine 13 years of age. And something else that's going on this coming week, next weekend, it's the Ride for Freedom over at Meadville. It's the shortest, best ride you'll ever be on. On Friday night, they're having their POW MIA vigil, and that's going to be at 6 o'clock to midnight, and that's at Diamond Park. Then on the next day, Saturday, it's called the Ride for Freedom, and it's going to be at the Goat Bar on Route 618 in Conneaut Lake. And if anybody has any questions about all this, I just said, just Google Vietnam Veterans Post 52. They have flyers up there and everything's gone. It's the best little ride you'll be on. We come from over to Conneaut Lake, police escort, down into Meadville. There's been years we had 500-600 riders, but it's slimming down because our Vietnam veterans and Korean War veterans aren't around anymore. And they do the ride rain or shine. I did it one year. It poured rain. Poured. Once we got into Meadville, the good Lord shut the switch off and it quit raining. We had an awesome service. And they'll read the names. They'll have guest speakers there at Diamond Park. Say the ride takes off at 2 o'clock. They get there about 2:30, 2:40, get everything ready. It's awesome. It's a great time.
And that's when again?
That's going to be, the vigil is September 19th at Diamond Park. The ride is Saturday, September 20th.
Well, the weather right now is looking beautiful for that,
yes.
So it's going to be great.
Yes, yes.
Now, does somebody should call ahead if they want to participate, or do they just show up?
Just show up. You got to sign a little waiver, and you're good to go. They sell shirts there, T-shirts. It's the monies they make for True Packaging, and if anybody wants to make any donations, they're getting ready to send out their Christmas boxes. I think last I heard they send out like 230 boxes.
Wow.
Yeah, they send a lot out. I mean, and this is all for monies they raise. They have a little canteen over there, Dunham Road, where they serve meals on Saturday evenings, and that's where they raise their money, and it all goes back into helping supply the packages and the goods for our veterans. You got to remember, Luke, right now we have troops serving in 140 countries all over the world. 140 countries. Now, everybody just thinks about Iraq, Afghanistan. You know, we got troops in Africa. They're everywhere. You know, Eastern Europe. There's huge bases there. You know, with thousands of men, and our female veterans also. Them female veterans, they're the best. They're awesome. They say these women can't do stuff. Bull. They're fighter pilots. They're helicopter pilots. They do an awesome job.
Let's recap what's going on this Wednesday and give us all the details again on that, Charlie.
Okay, sure. This Wednesday, September 17th, 4 p.m., the American Legion Post 368 here in Titusville. It's located at 113 East Central Avenue in Titusville. We're there to honor our World War II veterans and to remember our POWs and MIAs. All veterans and family members are invited. It is smoke-free. We're going to have a service going to start out by me. Welcome, everybody. The chaplain will do the invocation. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll do the POW MIA Missing Man Table ritual. Some information about World War II. And Chris Feely is going to read all the names of our deceased veterans in the era from World War II. And I'll talk a little bit about the Vietnam War. And our guest speaker is Phil Davis, commander of Vietnam Veterans Post 52 in Meadville. After that, we'll have our closing remarks, the benediction, and a meal will be provided.
Again, 4 o'clock this Wednesday. Again, going back, Charlie, real quick, if folks want to help out, they want to be involved, what about membership opportunities for either location, American Legion or VFW? Okay, the VFW is a little bit different from the American Legion. The VFW is Veterans of Foreign Wars. You have to serve in a war, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, or have dangerous duty pay. That's the qualifications. American Legion's a little bit different. If you're a veteran, you serve at different places, you qualify. Also, the VFW, like the Legion, has their auxiliary. And the American Legion have the sons, where a son can join, and also the daughters. And one more important thing I want to give you, Luke, any veteran is distressed or feeling bad or about committing suicide, they have the toll-free number. You dial 988, then press 1. You'll get a veteran on there that'll help you through any situation. That's for veterans special, pushing the 1. But there's anybody else
that's having a rough time and things just don't look like there's an end, you're having problems with debt or whatever it could be, you think nobody cares for you anymore. People do. When there's a suicide, I've known 3 or 4 veterans the past couple of years, and I could not believe when I heard tears in my eyes when they took their life because something happened. But there's help. And also, if you don't know that number, if you dial any of the Erie VA numbers or any of the VA places, the recording will come on there for different places, and it'll say, if you need help with suicide, press this, and you'll be connected to a specialist. I should have said that in the very beginning. That's most important.
And that affects all age groups, correct?
Yes. Anybody and everybody. For the 988, for veterans, when you press 1, you'll get a specialist veteran. Yes.
Okay. Charlie, appreciate you coming in this morning and sharing all this great information. And again, if somebody has a question, they want more information, do they get a hold of you, or should they call their local, either American Legion or VFW?
If you have any questions, anybody locally right around Titusville, call the VFW American Legion. Leave your number and I'll get back to you. Anybody wants to be a DAV driver in the area, call them up. Hey, give my number to Charlie and I'll definitely get a hold of you.
Charlie, thank you so much.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be here, Luke, getting the word out there.
Take care.
Good.
Sembra che sappiate.
It seems that you know that today I'm turning 70.
Rendo grazie al Signore.
I thank the Lord, my parents, and all those who remembered me in prayer.
Ricordo nella preghiera.
I'm a literature professor and I'm here for the Pope's birthday. I'm really excited to be here in the Vatican today to celebrate him, and also just to be here in the Jubileo, right, in Spanish.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville. Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733. For over 30 years, J. Gill Plumbing and Heating has taken pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. Our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. And with the J. Gill Service membership, you can take advantage of additional benefits like filter replacements and priority service scheduling. Plus, members get 10% off future projects. Call today to get a free estimate or ask about financing options. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online at jgillplumbingheating.com. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
211 is a simple telephone number to remember when you don't know where to go for help. Dial 211 when needing to find health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. It's free and confidential, and you'll have access to thousands of programs and services for emergency and non-emergency situations. Visit pa211nw.org to learn more, and remember, help is available by calling 211.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Friday, with the Dow dropping about 0.6%, the S&P 500 closing essentially flat, and the Nasdaq gaining more than 0.4% to record another record closing high. Investors are laser focused on the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting next week, which concludes on Wednesday. Traders expect the central bank to cut interest rates by 25 basis points after recent data showed long-standing weakness in hiring and easing inflation concerns. The anticipated rate cut is just one catalyst that has driven Wall Street's main indexes to multiple recent record highs, says Anna Rathbun, founder and CEO of Granadilla Advisory.
This week we had an IPO of a name that a lot of people know, Klarna. And that has definitely caused a lot of excitement. There was news about Oracle and OpenAI and AI demand. All of this has generated or rejuvenated this excitement around AI. So tech continues to go up and drive the entire markets. The rest of the markets seem to be on standby as to what may happen next week with the Fed. And I think they're a lot more sensitive to what will happen to rates for the rest of the year.
Friday's notable stock moves included Microsoft, which rose nearly 2% after the technology giant avoided a possible hefty EU antitrust fine by offering customers reduced prices for office products, excluding Teams. Shares of Tesla jumped nearly 7.5% after its board chair dismissed concerns that CEO Elon Musk's political activity had hurt sales at the EV maker and said the billionaire was, quote, front and center at the company after several months as part of the Trump administration. With Friday's surge, Tesla shares remained down 2% in 2025. And shares of Warner Brothers Discovery jumped 17%, extending a surge from Wednesday, when a source said that Paramount Skydance was preparing a bid for the struggling media company.
Well, a quick look at that forecast. It's going to be another great week. Just look at that graphic there. Sunshine pretty much all week long. Temperatures today in the low 80s, Tuesday low 80s, Wednesday upper 70s, Thursday low 80s, Friday low 80s. Yeah. And even into the weekend, it's going to be around 80 on Saturday, Sunday upper 70s. So got a nice stretch of weather continuing here with us here this morning and the week. It's 9 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. This is The Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joining us this morning is the city manager for the City of Titusville, at least for a few more days, and Mr. Neil Fratus joins us. Hi, Neil. How are you?
Luke, good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Goodbye in one capacity, but maybe hello in a different one down the road. So,
yeah, it's hard to believe this is my final week. I was, talking that over with my wife actually this morning. Just hard to believe. This is it, and next week's a new chapter. And again, just looking back, I had last week spent a lot of time looking back at some of the things that have happened in the last over 5.5 years, and just it's crazy just to see some of the things that we've accomplished, some of the challenges that the city's faced. And hard to believe.
Did you have a meeting last week, or is it this week?
We actually have a meeting this week.
This week. Yeah, so this will be your last.
This will be my last. Yeah, it happened to work out that way, where this is the last meeting of the month of September, and
So I know you kind of went back and looked at some things over the years. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
A lot goes on. It's crazy. We'll be talking, this time of year, and you think, okay, well, you guys did something in January or February, and that seems like 2 years ago, but it just goes so fast. So there's probably a lot to kind of reflect on.
Yeah, just thinking back when I had got hired back in January of 2020, and COVID came that year, and it just kind of obviously flipped things upside down for everyone, and having to adjust to the different style of how you run a business, how you run the city, and just different things like that. So yeah, just reflecting back, and as you said, even simple projects early this year, it seems like it was ages ago, and we've come a long way.
What are you most proud of when you look back at that time? Because I think even you said early on, when you got the position, like, hey, I'm new to this. There's going to be a lot I'm learning. And here you are 5 years later, and getting ready to move on to a new challenge. Is it crazy to think back, like, boy, I know so much now compared to then?
Yeah, to be honest with you, when I got hired here, I was scared to death. I thought, I have no idea how city government operates. Obviously know how to talk to people and be out in the community, which I enjoy very much. But no, it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
But was that also helpful for you, where it wasn't just numbers on? Obviously, that's extremely important.
Sure.
But you also had that community project mentality, where it's like, okay, people are coming here. There's a need. Let's listen. Let's see what we can do. And instead of just yes and no, let's put some thought into it.
Yeah, again, just listening to residents, listening to stakeholders in the community, business owners, nonprofits, what have you, keeping that open relationship with county officials as well, at the county level, state level as well, having that relationship with state representatives. And again, it was just all working together, collaborating, for the betterment of the community, of the city, of course. And again, there was a lot of times where there's some challenges that we faced, and it was just bringing everybody in, saying, hey, how can we get it done? And maybe we couldn't get it done, but I felt good about, we did everything we could to try to make something happen, whether it was a project or a change in the community. And again, when COVID came, everyone came together. We were all obviously unknown of how things were going to go, how long it was going to last. But we got through that, and I felt, getting through that stage of the unknown, was a huge feat for all of us. And just to see the community, of course I'm going to say, and I still feel this way strongly, is things have moved in a positive direction here. Again, I think the most I take out of my time here is just the relationship building that we've been able to collaborate with everyone. Again, whether it's nonprofits, businesses, just different stakeholders, and we've really come a long way.
I look back at that time, and I think a lot of that time, obviously, it was really easy for people, businesses. It was easy for government to say, yeah, you know what, we're just not going to do anything, just kind of wait and see what happens and take that little vacation there, right? But I think you guys took the opposite approach, like, okay, we know what we can't do. Let's figure out what we can do.
Yeah.
And you still move, and I think a lot of people were like, how can they be doing that?
Yeah.
And you got a lot done.
Yeah, just, again, being innovative, trying to find ways to, I look back at the high school graduation we had that year, and we found a way to work with the school district and have a drive-through ceremony at the airport. And that's one thing that sticks out in my mind. You were there. It was pretty amazing, the fire truck with the flag hanging down and the drive-through ceremony that led into a parade through the city, which started that.
And how many other people said, how did they do that? We didn't think outside the box like that.
Exactly. And again, it was all of us working together. And again, I'm just very grateful. And the relationships, the partnerships we have again, with the school district has been just flourished. And again, there's so many different things to look back at and challenges along the way as well.
So you had a chance to kind of put some things together. Go through the list. Share some of those thoughts. What are you most proud of, and what are some things that you look back on and say, boy, I wish we could have put a cap on that or fix this, but maybe it was just something that just can't happen overnight. And that's probably another part of government that drives people crazy, right?
Exactly.
Things just don't happen quickly.
Yeah, that is one thing I will say quickly, just that you come in and you go, oh, we're just going to get that done, and 2, 3, 4 years later you're still working on it. And again, that's one of the things. It's hard. It's tough being patient, but that's how government works. And so looking back, one of the first things that we did was the Diamond Street building that had caught on fire back in 2018, I believe, near Missy's Arcade. Dealing with that, it was a safety hazard to the community, and so being able to acquire that building, it was a process. Of course, it took most of the year, and you've seen since that building was able to come down, we put Founders Park in there, and we're still doing things in Founders Park, and you kind of see it's taken 5 years when we started that project. So that's one of the things, I think, being able to get that building down, having that challenge of the shared wall that we didn't know was going to be there. I remember spending some evenings watching them take down that building and going, oh, I hope that wall doesn't collapse. It was a shared wall, obviously, with a neighboring business. So that was exciting and challenging at the same time. Again, we brought up COVID, dealing with COVID. That started in March of 2020, and having to deal with that and the unknowns, trying to figure out a way to have council meetings and meet using Zoom, using different platforms, online was challenging. One of the other big things I look back is David's Garden. The city having a small piece of property there beside Middleton Chiropractor, and being able to work with the United Way and partner with them, and beautiful mural, the garden that was implemented. The school district was a part of that, as they were able to help build, the beds for that location has been great, and it still, flourishes today with the different things they have going on there. Bob Joyce and his crew able to build a beautiful, like an entrance into the garden has been great. Simple things such as upgrading our city website. I know I talked about that a lot over the years, how proud I was of that, because we just wanted to be more user-friendly for our residents to be able to go online if they needed applications, just to see what's going on. Obviously, it was frustrating this year or the past few years here with the newspaper. Obviously not being here every day, and the News Journal, at least, providing news each week, but that was the challenge, us getting information out to the community, whether it was a delay in garbage or things changing, with services. That's always been a challenge. So, being able to upgrade that website was important to me. We were able to do that. And again, I was very excited about something simple and small as that. The rental inspection program, that you could say was very successful for the city, but it was a challenge at the same time. We had landlords obviously not happy, and that was a process we went through many years ago. I think we're coming up on our 3rd year of that implementation of the rental inspection. And, the city's aspect to that was we were just trying to improve the housing stock in the city. We want, obviously, tenants to live in a safe environment. So, we were able to get through that stage of implementing that. Again, wasn't easy. It was challenging. Again, but I'm very proud of that program as it continues to grow. And again, I think it's made a difference. I truly
Have you had any landlords come up to you since then and just say, hey, you know what? I was against it at first, but now I understand it?
Yeah, we have a lot. Some still not happy with it. Some still not complying again. But no, many came through and said, wow, I didn't realize, after it was explained to me a little more and we've seen how it's gone, it's really not a big deal. And again, if you take care of your property and you provide a safe place for your tenant, you have nothing to worry about.
It really protects everybody.
It does. It does. So again, it's been a successful program as it continues to build. Church run study. That's another thing we've had over the, Stifler McGraw, Joe Roddy's done a fantastic job. His team put a great package together for the city to look. Obviously, the flooding we had many years ago, that's not something I'm proud of, but it was a challenge that we faced with the flooding down Franklin Street and the businesses that were affected, residents that were affected as well. One of the things I am proud of that is we were able to partner with the county at the time and be able to come up with some reimbursement for those that were affected by that. So again, having that positive relationship with the county officials to be able to partner in something to at least help out in a way that we could in a time like that, that meant a lot. And again, the study that was put together, obviously a large price tag. We are looking at other ways to be able to make it a smaller project. Maybe it's just addressing the retaining walls down along Church Run, different funding sources that are out there for that. But again, that's something that's a challenge for the city in the future to come. And again, it comes down, unfortunately, to financial cost or something like that.
Do most people understand that, do you think?
Yeah.
Or do you have somebody that's like, you need to do something about this now?
Yeah, we still have some that say that. But again, Joe Roddy coming and being able to present that to the public, to council, and explain, the biggest thing is being transparent. Just showing folks, hey, it's a $66 million project. That's not cheap. Of course not for a town like Titusville. But, are there ways, can you be innovative ways to be able to break that down into smaller projects? And again, working with Joe and being able to come up with something to improve and work with homeowners along Church Run. Again, something simple as just keeping the debris, having your eyes open and just looking if you see a tree that's collapsed in there, just letting us know, getting that out of there. Again, that makes a difference.
Or a couple shopping carts.
Or shopping carts. We've seen shopping carts. We've seen all kind of things in there. So yeah, South Perry Street Bridge. That was something that obviously has been in the works for a while. Say controversial. It in years past it was, but again, it's been an eyesore for many years. We all knew it was going to be coming down. And, that's something that happened years ago. And to see that was a big accomplishment, for that to come down and that to be addressed. In the future, that could still be potentially a walking bridge. Again, a lot needs to happen. But again, there's a site there potentially for something in the future. Park upgrades. I know I talk about that. So that's more recent. We've been able to acquire playground equipment for a lot of our parks, dugouts, sports complex, a building for housing some of the sporting equipment, the dog park. And again, a lot of that was partnering with many groups to be able to make that happen. And again, I'm very proud. Longway Park, even people go, Longway Park, where's that at? Getting some of the old equipment out of there, being able to shift some playground equipment from other parks into that, into that location is important, very important to us as we're able to do that.
And by the way, yesterday a snapshot of like the park usage at Meyer Complex going down yesterday afternoon. You had rec soccer, you had fall baseball, you had BMX.
Yep.
I mean, the complex was packed for mid-September.
Yeah. Obviously a beautiful day yesterday. And again, my boys played soccer yesterday, and just looking around, I remember looking around going, wow, look at this place. Like you said, the baseball game was going on. It was just wonderful to see. And again, all the additions, the pickleball courts. I think they had a pickleball tournament last week, was it?
Yeah.
Maybe?
On a Saturday.
Yeah, quite a few folks down there. I saw pictures. It was just amazing to see. So very proud of the park upgrades. Some that needed, we just weren't able to afford it. And thankfully we were able to be able to do that now. And so we're very excited about that. The mural Founders Park, I know that's most recent, but again, very exciting to see the mural, the stage. It was able to be used during Oil Fest this year, which was very exciting. And, again, just so many different projects. One of the things I just do want to mention that I'm very proud of is the roundtable meetings. Something that we started, probably 4 years now.
That's incredible.
Isn't that something? And to be able to bring everyone together continues to grow. I hope they continue that on, each month that we have that. Again, it's just so important to be able for everyone to collaborate and work together, hear about the wonderful things that people have going on, and also some of the challenges they face. And again, I really feel that the city's been successful because everyone has just kind of worked together and been very open to ideas. And again, finding ways to get things done, has been the key.
Is there plans right now to have it the first Wednesday in October?
Yeah, that's one thing I'm sharing my thoughts
Yeah.
with council and things like that. Is to that's one of the most important things to me is keeping that open dialogue with everyone. And again, everyone's on the same page. And it's not something. It's already been built. You just have to show up, get everybody there, and get it started, and it goes from there.
Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Neil Frey is with us here this morning. Anything else on your list?
Wow,
that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of small projects. Youth corps program. The Hope Initiative came over. We got to, we're able to get into a neighborhood and have a community cleanup day and get them folks involved. Just so many different things. City Hall upgrades.
Right.
There's just the list goes on. And again, we had challenges along the way. One of the most, I would say, memorable is the raccoon refuse. Unfortunate fiasco, I call it. But I share that story a lot with folks of that Monday morning coming in at 8 in the morning and having an email saying they were shut down and garbage needed picked up that night. And, just, again, our wonderful city employees who really and truly run this town. They're the ones that police, fire, public works, water, wastewater, all those employees.
But you and council didn't sit around like other communities and say, okay, let's just kind of wait and see what happens. I mean, you guys were quick to respond, whether it was picking up garbage yourselves, which you did.
Yeah.
Or it was, hey, let's start talking to other people now before it gets too crazy.
Yeah.
And you got something secured before it got too crazy.
Yeah, we all came together. It was kind of a deer in the headlights, but it was like, we got to make a plan. We have to do something. We had staff calling other garbage contractors, trying to figure out a plan for that, while the rest of us said, how are we going to get trucks together? This potentially could be a health hazard. And again,
there's
hats off
a
to our
neighboring
employees.
community that, the
Yeah.
residents had to drive their own garbage to a location.
Yeah, for several months.
Yes.
We were very fortunate, and Tri-County stepped in and was able to start that Saturday. But I say back, I'm very proud and very happy I was able to take part and be able to pick up garbage that week. It was a different perspective, but again, it was one of those things where you got to do what you got to do to take care of your community, and we were able to do that. So I'm very proud of that. And again, I go back to the city employees as they run this city. My job is always to remove the obstacles out of the way so they can do their job and give them the tools that they need, and include them in discussions with council when they talk about their departments and the things that they need and want to do. And it's been a great ride.
Yeah. Is there a project that sticks with you in the back of your mind that you wish you could have finished up, but just again because how government is and maybe a cost associated, it just was something that just couldn't be done?
Yeah, I think some of the grant writing stuff. I feel we missed out on a lot of opportunities. That's a challenge. We've been trying to be able to write grants within the city. Our public safety secretary, Shayla, she does a wonderful job writing grants. She's been able to acquire some grants. So we've been able to build on that a little bit. I still think there's a lot more to go. I think we're missing out on a lot of opportunities. I hope that council and the city staff are able to continue to try to find funding, obviously for the city. The water well project is a big one that, I'm obviously not going to be here to see that get finished up, as that's going to be a few years out, actually. There'll probably be new administration on council as well. But I'd like to be a part of that to see how that goes. Obviously, Church Run is another one. I would have liked to have seen some improvements along Church Run, whether it be building on the walls and different things like that.
That's a project, too, that people over the last 100 years haven't been able to really accomplish or solve. So.
Yeah, and that gets frustrating. Again, we coming in here, things don't move quickly. And so, we knew we had a problem. We wanted to get it taken care of, and here we are, years later after the flood, still trying to do our best for short-term fixes. But again, we need some long-term solutions. And I'd like to, obviously, that's one that I'd love to be able to be here for as, hopefully those changes occur.
I'm always amazed at those city managers who do such a good job navigating the changes on council. I think there was early on when you started, it was sort of a rotating door of, constantly trying to fill seats and work with, a consistent board, which I think you finally got that under, not you personally, but that situation kind of got under control, where it has been more stable the last handful of years.
Yeah, I share with everyone, and 18 different council folks I've seen in my time here. And, the challenges of getting somebody in and getting them acquainted with, the budget, how city operations go. But again, everyone I've worked with, I've had a great relationship with. And, they obviously came on board for the betterment of the community. And whether things didn't work out, it is what it is. But again, I'm very proud. I'm obviously very grateful that at that time back in 2020, council gave me the opportunity to be here. And so I've really learned a lot. And this is something that, it's been the most rewarding experience of my career as being, city manager.
Yeah.
So I'll take that with me, obviously, in my next adventure.
Well, obviously, I was just going to say that work hasn't gone unnoticed. You have an opportunity to advance professionally, personally, and just share with everyone what you're doing next.
Yeah, so I'm headed to Edinburgh. I'm going to be the new borough manager in Edinburgh. I'll be starting next Monday. I'm very excited. Edinburgh is most people know it's a beautiful little town, a little borough. That's something I need to get used to. It's not a city, it's a borough. But again, I'm very excited to work with the staff. I've had an opportunity to meet the staff up there. Obviously, their council I've got to know good, and I'm excited to work with them. And again, take the skills that I've learned here, the wonderful relationships that I've been able to build here, and take that up there. And again, we know, Penn West University is in Edinburgh, in the borough there. So again, I look forward to working with those folks as well, and taking what I've learned here there.
I won't say specifically, but I know when you were telling me personally that this was the direction. You started off by listing some challenges that you were excited to tackle. Most people would say, oh, here's the great things going on that I'm going to work off of, and not really name the challenges. But you're somebody who likes to know the challenges and take them on and see what you can accomplish with them. So that goes back to who you are. And Neil, I want to thank you for coming in and giving us your time, and we wish you all the best. And hey, we'll probably talk to you down the road.
Yeah, you're going to see me again. I'm sure you will, Luke. And I appreciate you, having me be a part of the show every week. And again, how important it is to be able to get the information out to the community. And again, I appreciate what you do for not just for us, but for the community as a whole.
All the best to you and your family. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Sembra che sappiate.
It seems that you know that today I'm turning 70.
Rendo grazie al Signore.
I thank the Lord, my parents, and all those who remembered me in prayer.
Ricordo nella preghiera.
I'm a literature professor, and I'm here for the Pope's birthday. I'm really excited to be here in the Vatican today to celebrate him, and also just to be here in the Jubileo, right, in Spanish.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch? Pinch, We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Oh, you don't call for pinches? Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea? We're in Ohio.
So is that close, or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Friday, with the Dow dropping about 0.6%, the S&P 500 closing essentially flat, and the Nasdaq gaining more than 0.4% to record another record closing high. Investors are laser focused on the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting next week, which concludes on Wednesday. Traders expect the central bank to cut interest rates by 25 basis points after recent data showed long-standing weakness in hiring and easing inflation concerns. The anticipated rate cut is just one catalyst that has driven Wall Street's main indexes to multiple recent record highs, says Anna Rathbun, founder and CEO of Granadilla Advisory.
This week we had an IPO of a name that a lot of people know, Klarna, and that has definitely caused a lot of excitement. There was news about Oracle and OpenAI and AI demand. All of this has generated or rejuvenated this excitement around AI. So tech continues to go up and drive the entire markets. The rest of the markets seem to be on standby as to what may happen next week with the Fed. And I think they're a lot more sensitive to what will happen to rates for the rest of the year.
Friday's notable stock moves included Microsoft, which rose nearly 2% after the technology giant avoided a possible hefty EU antitrust fine by offering customers reduced prices for office products, excluding Teams. Shares of Tesla jumped nearly 7.5% after its board chair dismissed concerns that CEO Elon Musk's political activity had hurt sales at the EV maker and said the billionaire was, quote, front and center at the company after several months as part of the Trump administration. With Friday's surge, Tesla shares remained down 2% in 2025. And shares of Warner Brothers Discovery jumped 17%, extending a surge from Wednesday when a source said that Paramount Skydance was preparing a bid for the struggling media company.
Consumer sentiment falls to its lowest level since May. Here to discuss it is Anna Rothbrunn of Granadilla Advisory. Anna, consumer sentiment in the University of Michigan survey fell for a second straight month, but it's been the consumer who's propped up this economy with consistent spending. Do you see a shift on the horizon in consumer behavior?
You know, in some ways, it's not that surprising to see consumer sentiment fall because there are a lot of uncertainties still around us. But, you know, consumer sentiment has been low if we take a few steps back for a few years. If you go back decades, the average consumer sentiment is around 82. So, and we've been below that for a long time, and yet the consumers have still propped up the economy. So I don't really see this particular reading as something that's indicative of, taking away the resilience of consumers. And plus, remember, there are these tax cuts, tax cuts that were extended and also additionally. And come next spring, there's going to be tax refunds that will also prop up the economy. So I think there are positives to the consumer wallets that will be coming in the future that will help us.
And this is despite the fact that we saw in yesterday's consumer price index reading that inflation is drifting away and not towards the Fed's 2% annual target goal.
Yeah, but there were some things that were definitely much higher in terms of price increases, but there were also things that went down. And in the aggregate, it was higher. But I think the Fed is taking a look at PPI more closely, I would, than usual, because PPI is sort of a leading indicator of what prices might do. And the day before, it actually fell. And more importantly, the services portion, which is what the Fed is worried about, also was very, very mild. So I think going into the meeting next week for the Fed, there is a huge likelihood that they will actually end up cutting, especially with a very slow and weakening labor market.
Most traders expect that the Fed will cut by 25 basis points. Some think that it may cut by 50 basis points. You say it won't. You're sticking with 25. Why?
You know, I think it's easier to pass a 25 basis point cut, easier to get a consensus. It's harder to get a 50 basis point consensus, especially if you take a look at all of the different commentaries that have come leading up to now. And also, 25 basis points have been sort of your given, accepted increment. But if they go 50, there is a possibility that the markets will wonder, is there something else that's wrong, that the Fed is seeing that the markets are not seeing? And it can induce a little bit of a panic.
The Trump administration is eager to have Stephen Myron confirmed as Fed governor before the meeting next week. What impact do you see this having, if any, on Fed independence?
Yeah, there's been a lot of noise around Fed independence for a while now. It's sort of unfortunate that this is happening with the confirmation as the data are pointing toward a 25 basis point cut. So it's difficult to tell, is there influence versus is it really just the data? And I think that is going to put a lot of question mark on investors. I still believe the Fed will be independent. It is one person that is coming in from the Trump administration. The rest of the Fed officials have been around for a while, and we have trusted them until now. So I don't think one person will make a huge difference in swinging the independence of the Fed one way or another.
Stocks continue to make more record highs. Would you consider what we're in a sort of momentum melt up, or is this truly based on fundamentals?
It feels like a melt up. Every day it goes up a little bit, and we continue to hit record highs in the S&P 500. Now, some of this is optimism. Some of it is, anticipation of a rate cut and potentially more for the rest of 2025. Some of it is fundamental. So even with the tariffs and all these challenges, the S&P 500 companies still managed to, perform, I guess, mid-teens, almost mid-teens year-over-year earnings growth. That's pretty impressive considering the challenges that have been around us. So I think there are some fundamentals. Now, this isn't to say that the stock market is cheap. The valuations are high. The concentration in the S&P 500 is very, very high. There is a possibility that if there is a bad news somewhere, that there may be jitters that actually spread through the markets and induce a sell-off. The higher the market goes, the more fragile it becomes to those types of bad news.
From the Federal Reserve to central banks in Europe, Japan, and beyond, these are the stories to watch in business and finance in the coming week. The week's main event is shaping up to be a resumption of U.S. monetary easing after a 9-month pause. The Fed's Tuesday to Wednesday meeting follows bad news on the jobs front and tame inflation readings from CPI and PPI reports. That's paving the way for a rate cut by at least 25 basis points. Some Fed officials, including Chair Jerome Powell at the Jackson Hole Symposium last month, have signaled a cut is coming. A Friday rate hike looks like a long shot for the Bank of Japan. Japan won't know who its next prime minister is until October 4th at the earliest. And the frontrunners couldn't be much further apart in their views on fiscal and monetary policy. Another complication is potential Fed easing. A BOJ hike in that environment could roil Japan's already fragile bond market, accelerate yen strength, and knock stocks off their record peaks. Europe's not missing out on a central bank-packed week. The Bank of England is tipped to hold rates steady on Thursday, and analysts have pushed back forecasts for future rate cuts, citing sticky inflation. August inflation numbers are out Wednesday, while UK jobs data will be released on Tuesday. Norway's central bank also meets on Thursday. Several major emerging market central banks also have rate decisions. Having announced a new and lower policy objective of achieving 3% inflation, central bankers in South Africa will have to re-anchor inflation expectations and might keep rates on hold at 7%. Brazil is expected to keep rates at a nearly 20-year high of 15% on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, analysts are undecided over whether Indonesia's central bank will cut or keep rates at 5%.
From a bullish prediction from Oracle to a mega deal in mining, this is the week in numbers. Over $500 billion is the revenue Oracle expects to book at its cloud business. The bullish outlook is another sign of the AI boom and sent shares in the firm soaring 27% in extended trade Tuesday. That saw co-founder Larry Ellison's wealth surge too. Forbes says he is closing in on Elon Musk for the title of world's richest man. $53 billion will be the combined value of miners Anglo American and Teck Resources after a merger. The deal announced by the pair would mark the second biggest ever in the sector. It's meant to create a powerhouse in copper, which is seeing soaring demand spurred by EVs and AI data centres. 30% was the surge in shares for Klarna when it debuted on the New York Stock Exchange. That saw the Swedish buy now pay later lender valued at almost $20 billion. But the firm also said it might have overdone a move to cut costs using AI and would refocus on improving services and products. 9,000 is how many jobs are going at weight loss drug maker Novo Nordisk. The Danish firm, once Europe's most valuable company, is trying to reignite growth. It faces mounting competition from US giant Eli Lilly and copycat drugs. And up to $7 billion is the valuation that Chinese robotics firm Unitree is aiming for in an upcoming share listing. That's according to Reuters sources. Unitree has grabbed attention with its humanoid robots and is the market leader in the fledgling sector on production and sales.
Mexico plans to raise tariffs on automobiles from China and other Asian countries to 50%. It's a broad overhaul of import levies the government said would protect jobs. Analysts also argue it's aimed at placating the United States. Tariffs on Chinese cars entering Mexico are currently at 20%. On Wednesday, Economy Minister Marcelo Ebrard told reporters the raise was intended to protect jobs in Mexico as Chinese cars were entering the local market below what he called reference prices. Authorities also said the moves would impact $52 billion worth of imports, as sectors including steel and textiles will also face increased tariffs. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian told reporters he wanted Mexico and China to work together towards global economic recovery and trade development.
China has always advocated inclusive economic globalization. We are opposed to all forms of unilateralism, protectionism and discriminatory and exclusive measures. I'm firmly opposed to being coerced by others and imposing restrictions on China under various pretexts and harming China's legitimate rights and interests. We will resolutely safeguard our own rights and interests in accordance with the actual situation.
Mexico's plan still needs to be approved by the country's Congress, where the government holds a significant majority. Authorities said tariffs will impact nations that don't have trade deals with Mexico. Those include China, South Korea, India, Indonesia, Russia, Thailand and Turkey. They further argued the plan would impact 8.6% of all imports and protect 325,000 industrial and manufacturing jobs that were at risk. The measures also include a 35% tariff on steel, toys and motorcycles. Textiles will see levies between 10 and 50%.
From crypto mania losing shine to a Trump investor feeling the cold, this is Crypto Weekly. Companies that accumulate and hoard Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have suffered sharp drops in their share prices as the crypto mania that's gripped investors for much of the year recedes. These so-called digital asset treasury companies sell shares or issue debt to raise cash for buying crypto held on their balance sheets. Investors have been snapping up their shares, encouraged by Bitcoin's record highs this year. Michael Saylor's strategy is the best known of these Bitcoin buyers. Its shares have fallen from $457 in July to as low as $328 this week. Stablecoin issuer Figure Technology, along with some of its existing investors, raised $787 million in a US IPO. It becomes the latest crypto firm to tap public markets as digital assets go mainstream. Listings from the sector recently surpassed a market value of $4 trillion. India is leaning towards not creating legislation to regulate cryptocurrencies. Instead, it will maintain partial oversight. It fears that bringing the digital assets into the mainstream financial system could raise systemic risks, a government document shows. Justin Sun, one of the biggest known backers of Donald Trump's World Liberty Financial crypto venture, said his tokens connected to the project had been frozen, without giving further details. Sun had spent at least $75 million on World Liberty Financial tokens, according to his posts on X. In a post there addressed to the World Liberty Financial's team, Sun said during the course of operations, my tokens were unreasonably frozen. The China-born crypto entrepreneur did not say what the operations were.
Meadville, Pennsylvania is not just another small town off the beaten path. Meadville is home of nation-shaping history, the exuberance of today, and the dreams of tomorrow. Nestled perfectly between the rolling foothills of the Allegheny Mountains and the banks of French Creek. Our people are more than what makes Meadville great. They are the backbone of our community. At every turn, you will find smiling faces, ready to lend a helping hand. Meadville residents come together to produce some of the largest events of their kind in the country, all while supporting and looking out for each other. Almost daily, you will find people from all walks of life coming together to make Meadville the best it can be. Volunteerism is in our DNA. It isn't about what we accomplish individually, but what we accomplish together as a community. We do our best to make everyone's life just a little bit easier so we can all enjoy life while experiencing everything Meadville has to offer. From the 2022 Pennsylvania River of the Year to our robust cultural and historical locations, Meadville has something for everyone to embrace. History grounds us to everything which is Meadville, from key movements which forever changed the landscape of segregation, to key industrial achievements which impacted the world. We embrace and share our history every chance we get. Our history guides us as we chart the path of our future. We invest in the prosperity of our future generations. With various schools and educational organizations, Meadville provides endless opportunities to shape the leaders of tomorrow. Through world-class facilities and classrooms, our younger residents are encouraged to develop their minds, grow their athletic prowess, and give back to their community. Home to Allegheny College, the oldest college west of the Allegheny Mountains, Meadville plays a starring role in the lives, development, and education of students from the region and across the world. As a community, we embrace our future generations and support them diligently on their path to success. Meadville is a great place to do business, relocate a business, or start a business. Long recognized as the tool and die capital of the world, we've got businesses which have been anchored here for generations and are recognized across the nation and world. And young businesses that have quickly made a name for themselves. Their success is a testament to our people and their tenacity in supporting our community. Meadville is a place where the history of yesteryear can be revisited, and the dreams of tomorrow can become a reality. We are a community where you can feel safe, appreciated, and inspired. More importantly, Meadville is an ideal place for your next great adventure. Welcome to Meadville, Pennsylvania.
All right, let's get to birthdays and what we're celebrating. Today's the 15th day of September.
Holy cow. Actor Tommy Lee Jones is 79. It's crazy.
He actually looks older than that.
He does. I thought he was like 79 a long time ago, but wow. Director Oliver Stone is 79. Actor Josh Charles is 54. Actor Tom Hardy is 48. Britain's Prince Harry is 41. Actress Heidi Montag is 39. And that is all.
All right. Happy birthday to all of them. And Happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here today. Let's turn the page and find out what it is we're celebrating here on this September 15th.
It is Butterscotch Cinnamon Pie Day.
Ugh.
Dot Day.
Dot?
Dot.
Just
dot.
Period. End of conversation.
Yep.
Okay.
Family and Community Day. Felt Hat Day.
Oh, I'm waiting to wear my fedoras.
Almost there.
I could wear them in this heat, but...
I wore, what was
like
it?
a straw or a...
like a Panama hat.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Yeah, it was really nice. You look nice in that.
Thanks. Felt Hat Day. International Day of Democracy. Make a Hat Day. National Africa Civility Day. National Cheese Toast Day. National Creme... I'm not even going to say it. Sorry. National Creme de Menthe Day. Didn't start it right, so it wasn't coming out at all. National Custom Framing Day. National Dare Day. National Double Cheeseburger Day. National Google.com Day. I can't talk. National Linguini Day. National Online Learning Day. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day. Respect for the Aged Day. Shout to Dolores. World Afro Day, World Engineers Day, Adopt a Less Adoptable Pet Week, Malnutrition Awareness Week, National Jeans for Jeans Week, Recycle Awareness Week, Rehab Week, Hispanic Heritage Month, and that's about it.
The only thing I can think of is Jerry Seinfeld at the end of that one episode yelling, "Oh, Dolores." So
yeah.
Happy Dolores Day. I don't know if I know any Doloreses. Do you?
I don't think I do.
I don't know. Okay. We'll find something there to celebrate and enjoy.
Life feels bright.